Thank you for bringing it to my notice. I've seen the video today. Uh, First of all, the clarifications which I gave earlier were in respect to allegations which were flying thick and thin in the print and visual media regarding our tie up with Churchill Brothers. That I have explained. Now Elvis says, beating his chest, that he has been the scriptwriter and director and producer of GFDC. I think he has really been the director and producer and scriptwriter in the real sense of the words, because I once when he made that statement, I was wondering how a government officer can be scriptwriter, director and producer, because normally bureaucrats can give only write the script. Direction and production is at the government level. So my interest grew and I looked at the file of creation of GFDC. As per the rules of business of the government, to create any public office like GFDC, you first need approval of the department concerned. Then you need concurrence of the finance department and the approval of the Council of Ministers. I can see nowhere in the files which were available under my custody that Elvis has taken any of the approvals which were required to create a public body. Neither he has taken approval from the sports department or the sports minister, nor from the finance department and finance minister, and nor from the Council of Ministers. So he has acted as an extra constitutional authority himself and created GFDC. So his script which he wrote, his direction and production has resulted in an illegitimate child. This is not a legal body because it has no approvals from the government. So probably I will have to rectify this by placing this issue first before the new council which may be constituted by the government.
Since GFDC's inception, it seems huge amount of crores has been spent. And is there, looking at that, is there any accountability or what it is?
Since he is talking of spending about 30 or 40 odd crores by GFDC in the past 6-7 years, let us go to the year when GFDC came into existence. As I have said, Elvis himself created this body. The government has not created. There is no approvals for creation of GFDC. Now, immediately after creation, he needed an office to house the body. He hired premises of a miles high building at Pato, 6th floor and the 4th floor, at rates which was convenient to him. Now, to hire an office for government body, you need approval of the finance department. Finance department needs to approve the rent which you are going to pay for the private premises. No such approval was taken. And an amount of 3 crores has been spent on rent.
In how many years?
From 2012 to 2017.
Okay.
So when I took over, I told the chairman that we need to shift to a government premises and we need to curtail this wasteful expenditure. And that is the reason we moved out from Miles High and went to Shyama Prasad Stadium, Talegaon.
Well, the other thing is that he has also spoken about this because there have been passes of corruption in
So that's what I've told you. Let's start from the beginning. After this office was hired, immediately he purchased a vehicle for his chairman, Dr. Rufin Montero. Now, finance department has guidelines for purchase of vehicles for a chairman of a statute by finance department. Dr. Rufin Montero and Edwils purchased a vehicle, Innova vehicle, costing 13.6 lakhs. And as per finance department guidelines, prior approval of finance department is required to purchase a vehicle. No such approval is taken from the finance department. So what was happening in GFDC initially? Government was not aware about anything. Next, after not only one, three vehicles were purchased without approval of the government. After the purchase of government, immediately Elvis and Dr. Rufin Montero embarked on a foreign tour. Now, can a government officer go on a foreign tour without approval from the finance department? As per applicable guidelines, no officer or chairman of a government body can go abroad unless the government sanctions the tour. They spent 5 lakhs, more than 5 lakhs on their tour to Russia and South Africa without taking anybody's approval. Again, on their way back from South Africa, they brought a foreigner and appointed under GFDC as technical director. So a lead actor was brought from a foreign country to act in the script which he wrote. And at what cost? His monthly salary was fixed at 5,000 USD dollars. Now, can you appoint a foreigner under a government council or society or a corporation without the approval of the government? Pay him in foreign currency? $5,000 per month. Forget that. That salary of 5,000 US dollars was not locked to the value of rupee at the time of his appointment. When the rupee went on a downward spiral over a period of time, his salary from 2.4 lakhs initially went up to 3.10 lakhs. Every month there was an increase in salary because the rupee was falling against the dollar. And then he was there for 11 months from July 14 to June 15. Not only this salary, he was given free accommodation at the rate of 25,000 per month. He was given free vehicle, and airfare to and fro to South Africa twice a year. A total of almost 40 lakhs has been spent on this man over a period of 11 months. What has been the outcome? What has he done? Dr. Rufin Montero and Elvis should answer now.
Elvis also spoke about the
How they employed a foreigner in GFDC without even informing the government.
He also spoke about GFA is a body of village.
Wait, I'll tell you. This is not over here. Then they came up with a grant-in-aid scheme for private clubs. GFDC, Elvis and Dr. Rufin Montero framed a grant-in-aid scheme for clubs. Now, as per financial rules, one grant-in-aid institution or a body of the government which is getting grant-in-aid from government cannot give grant-in-aid to another body or institution or a club. This is against financial rules. However, Elvis and Dr. Rufin framed a grant-in-aid scheme. No approvals are taken because to implement any scheme, you need administrative approval of the minister. You need to notify the scheme in the official gazette, then only implement it. First of all, it is against rule. You cannot implement a grant-in-aid scheme because you yourself is a grant-in-aid body. And then you have not taken any approvals, mandatory approvals from the government. So you formed the illegal scheme called grant-in-aid scheme to give grants to the private clubs. Now, they fixed an upper limit of 5 lakhs per club in the scheme. And those clubs were eligible who were playing in the Pro League, that is the professional league of GFA, or the first division. Now, in the first year, they gave grant-in-aid to 4 clubs. One is Goa Valley Sports Club. The other is Santa Cruz Club of Kavelosim. Third is Wilred Leisure Club Kurdorim. And Margao Sports Club from Margao. Now, are these the only clubs playing in the professional league or the first division? And on what basis were the clubs selected? Next year, the following year, they increased the upper limit to 10 lakhs and then gave the grant to only two clubs, that is Goa Valley Sports Club and the other club from Kavilusim. Now you frame a illegal scheme, you siphon off money from GFDC and give to these clubs without any permission, without any authority. And to whom? To Goa Valley Sports Club. Now, who was the General Secretary of Goa Valley Sports Club at the moment? At that moment, is one Mr. Velvin Menezes. Now, this Velvin Menezes was also Executive Committee member of GFA and then became General Secretary of GFA. So, Elvis, as a member secretary of GFDC, was siphoning money, giving to his Executive Committee member from GFA, because Elvis was the president of GFA. Forget conflict of interest, that you give money to your executive committee member as president of GFA when from a body whose member secretary you are, through an illegal scheme, siphoning of money without anybody's knowledge in the government. Then another big corruption is there. Elvis hired a knowledge partner for GFDC in the year 2013. One Trans Stadia from Mumbai was hired as a knowledge partner. He was given a work agreement in the month of April with backdated effect from December. Now you sign an agreement with the knowledge partner in April and make it valid from the previous December. Who ate this money? That was done at the rate of 3.4 lakhs per month. And it doesn't stop there. The knowledge partner served GFDC from 2013 to 16. He has been paid a total of 1.05 crores. Now during this period, he has been sponsor of GFA and given them a sponsorship of 25 lakhs in 2014-15 and 20 lakhs in 2015-16. So you as member secretary of GFDC was hiring an agency for GFDC, giving it money, and that money was coming to you as sponsorship in GFA. This is not siphoning. This is pure loot and plunder. And he has the audacity to say the tie-up with Churchill Brothers prima facie appears to be corrupt. After doing this.
One more thing, if you will
Now all these issues will definitely be placed before the first meeting of the new council and then placed before the government for appropriate action.
what
We will definitely answer before the appropriate authority which is investigating Churchill Brothers tie-up. We know to answer. And we have all the records to answer. But see the mess. And Dr. Rufin ought to have responded to his allegations. I believe Dr. Rufin has a lot of skeletons to hide. That's why he is quiet. Why is he not coming out and speaking?
So one more thing is that in GFA is a body of village and corporate clubs. And can GFDC be a part of it or what?
For a moment, let's agree with Elvis that GFA is a body of village clubs and corporate clubs. Then Mr. Elvis, how, when you were member secretary of GFDC in the year 2014-15, you took a fee of 10,000 rupees from GFDC, granted GFDC provisional affiliation and allowed GFDC's team under 14 category to play in your under 14 tournament allowing them to field not only one team but two teams, one in North, one in South, under 14. One team in under 16 tournament. So when you are member secretary of GFDC and president of GFA, it suits you to make GFDC a club. And when you are transferred by the government and shunted out from GFDC, you take revenge and impose a ban on GFDC and say, no, you are not a club. Then in 2015, he took a provisional affiliation fee of 500, granted the provisional affiliation. But because he was transferred and shunted out in July, he did not allow the teams to participate. So, when it suits Elvis as president and member secretary of president of GFA and member secretary of GFDC to make GFDC a club, and when it doesn't suit him, he's shunted out. He says, no, GFDC is not a club. You are not able to participate in our tournaments.
So finally,
What is the logic? The common people are misguided by Elvis on this topic. Now, exactly, he went and brought in a technical director from South Africa at $5,000 US dollars per month. He was there with them for 11 months. Under 17 World Cup was held in Goa. How many players did Elvis and GFDC give to the Indian team with his technical director at 5,000 US dollars per month working for him? Nobody. So he wants accountability from us and he wants to know what is the result. I will tell him. Because of the tie-up with Churchill Brothers, and thanks to Churchill Brothers, they gave us a platform. 4 of our players are in the India under 16 team. 4 today. 4 players have joined Reliance ISL Academy Mumbai. 4 as on date. 4 players have joined FC Goa. 6 players have joined Dempo Sports Club. 7 players have joined Salgaonkar Sports Club. 2 players have joined Sporting Club de Goa. 2 players have joined an academy in Chandigarh. This is the outcome.
so finally, why GFDC has been so quiet then on all these issues? Because this office was taken by Elvis and all for a long time now.
See, I am a bureaucrat. I did not want to come into the public domain and talk something to counter what the politicians are saying. I am not a politician. But then since these allegations are made of corruption and this, I have to come out and place proper facts before the public.
Is the government not aware?
I will put all these facts before the government once the council is constituted and it meets. I will put this up before the council and thereafter request the council to send these issues to the government.